foresee this.
No. Start of the podcast, we got the Gardeners immediately.
As we pressed record, the Gardeners fired up the blower. But honestly, they're quick. This could be a 10-minute mow.
Absolutely insane.
These are the sounds of suburbia.
I'm actually surprised we've yet to get hit with a gardener. How have we not timed it? How have we timed it so good?
It's a Wednesday at 11. Usually we start these
at 11.
Yeah. Maybe we do it on Tuesdays or Thursdays.
Yeah.
He's doing a good I mean, you're making a living, you're doing a good job.
He did a great job on the hedge.
If you're on Jinetes, then
looks very symmetrical.
Right. I've been saying that forever.
We should have multiple people on the street potting and giving reviews of the gardener's work.
Sorry, go on. Go on. Sorry.
Just reviewing the gardener's work.
Yeah.
Is this all going to be garbage?
No, it's fine. This is fine. We're talking, like, it seems like it's bad, but we're talking and it's going into
I doubt it.
It's like when a FedEx truck roars by and we tell them to slow down, you could barely hear the FedEx truck on the mic, but this is going to be pushing the decibels.
No, this is fine.
Sure.
You'll barely hear it. Believe me. No, I think my dream is to have us doing this with the garage open and then our next door neighbors with their garage open doing the same thing. Looking out.
It's actually kind of crazy. Since Daunt built out the gym too, there's now multiple gyms sprouting around.
Really?
I mean, Jonah's got the bench.
That's freaking Darwinism right there.
Jonah's got the bench press in there. We got some new neighbors that have been rolling jujitsu.
Call me Charles Marx.
For lack of a better term.
One of our main enemies, now that I'm hearing this, Gavin Newsom, if he had it his way, this would actually benefit us in this moment because he is attempting to eliminate gas-powered lawn equipment and tell you that you can't have a gas lawnmower in your garage. It has to be a freaking EV. What do you think about that, Don?
So you gotta stop pointing that Little League bat at me because I'm jumpy right now.
All right, sorry.
Speaking of bats, we were just talking. I'll get to your question. We were just talking about how they changed the baseball bat. Do you know about that?
Of course, Joey knows.
It's all lumpy.
Like
he's our sports correspondent.
Weird. Yeah, the tip is all weird now. Well, that's not everyone. Just the Yankees. The Yankees implemented it in their last game. It's a weird shaped barrel, and then it comes in small at the end.
They redistributed the wood. It's the same weight per regulation.
Oh, but that might be the thumbnail.
But it's like it looks like a bowling pin or a torpedo. 7 home runs in the first inning, Joey. This could change the game as we know it.
Wow. We'll stick on the bat topic too. Bryce Harper just did his gender reveal yesterday. He came out with a blue bat in the first inning, signaling that he was.
We were all wondering.
Signaling that he was having a son.
Boo.
So, Bryce Harper, congratulations. That is all I have on the week for
sports. Is Bryce Harper? Well, I guess Ohtani would be the most notable player in major leagues today.
Harper is controversial, hated by some.
He's kind of like Kyle Busch. You ever heard of the Kyle Busch hate?
No.
We're not Southerners.
Is he a racer?
Kyle Busch is a NASCAR driver, and being from California, we were never really brought into the fold on NASCAR. It wasn't part of our culture, I would say. But if you go to the South, it's almost a meme to hate Kyle Busch. I think he wins a lot. I think he's a great driver, but people will chant, thousands of people, F Kyle Busch.
Really?
And it's among like bro-y kind of frat, like douche guys. Like if you go put a camera in someone's face at a party, like they're going to say, fuck Kyle Busch.
And he's a California racer?
No. I'm saying we are from California, so we don't know this kind of stuff. But me being a man of, the nation, I like to keep myself current on these kind of things.
Curious why he gets the hate. It just happens to some athletes.
So to our listeners in the South, our listeners in the Rust Belt, Bible Belt,
the lower 23rd,
Route 66.
Explain to us the Kyle Busch hate. We're curious.
We do want to know.
By the way, if my eyes are really itchy and I look like I'm crying, it's not because I got the breakup text yesterday.
Oh!
Breakup from who? You were never together.
Yeah, I know. It was nothing a thing. It was never a thing, but it was nothing a thing. But, just for the listeners that, remain, listening on this pod, probably wondering, I wonder what happened to the situation. It's confirmed. No more. In immense pain at this moment, but we're looking forward, onward, moving.
Thank you for sharing, and I don't believe you about the thing in your eye.
I think you need, Dante, a nice Japanese or Korean woman. I think that's the answer.
Hell no.
Beautiful culture.
I just got to stop liking these girls so much, man.
Okay.
So she hit you with the word. So she did, because we talked about this last pod about the ghosting. So she didn't ghost. She came back and closed the door.
Yeah, it was like a comeback, half-ass. But I understand the situation. It's not like a.
But are you glad she closed the door rather than just ghosted and you never heard from her again?
I think that I'm sober now. Yeah, I'm glad there was a response. If I was sober, I'd just drink it away at 5 or something.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I say?
Like, if I was sober, I would just drink it away at 5.
I had a dream I drank last night. But
really?
Yeah.
What'd you drink?
I think I had a Tito's cocktail.
Was it a good dream
And I
or
drove.
bad or stressful?
Bro,
And I grabbed the keys.
the second that drink hits your lips, those keys just start chirping at you from the
Magnets.
counter.
Was it a stressful dream?
Pick me
It was a
up,
stressful
Dante.
dream. Yeah, it was. And I knew I was doing something wrong. And then there were girls involved.
As there are.
Yeah, but that's all. I only had like a half a drink, and then I'm like, I can't believe I'm doing this. But
Was it one of the dreams where you woke up and
I was bummed out
and believed it was real for a little
split
bit?
second. I'm like, I can't believe I drank. I'm like, oh, that was a dream.
It happened when I was a little kid where, and maybe I'm prone to this too, where I can dive into the spirit realm, but I went till like noon still thinking that a dream was real the night before.
I have dreams like that a lot, but even before I wake up, I'm able to tell myself there's a moment of realization.
Okay. So we do have a secret chair here. As you know, at times we do have guests that like to drop in here on the pod. Cole doesn't know this guest, but me and Dante do. And we spoke with him yesterday, and he was kind enough to actually join us here on the pod. And the gardeners are still firing away too, so hopefully he'll forgive us for that. Dot is an obelisk.
Am I too tall?
You're obelisk the
I'm
tormentor.
too tall. DJ too tall. Shout out Teddy.
You want to get on the exercise ball or no?
Shut
You're
up,
fine.
too tall. He's
So
fine.
I could slouch, maybe.
All right.
We have like Joey said, a guest. He's a human. He's half Puerto Rican, half Italian, possibly even black if you're out there. We have a marine biologist. We have a musician major. And we have a doctor.
The best introduction I've ever had.
Cousin.
We're live.
Doctor, cousin Bobby, veterinarian.
Our apologies for the landscapers. We have a lot going on here on the pod right now.
You can get
Apologies
that in
for
post,
the
right?
misnationality gendering of you, Bob.
I think you actually got it pretty accurate, I think.
So
Puerto
Bob,
Rican, correct? Your dad is 100% Puerto Rican?
Last time I
Bob?
checked, yeah.
Okay.
So Bob,
Dr. Cousin Bobby.
keep the mics
Welcome.
right. Keep the mics right here. Our sound equipment we're still waiting on some stuff from China coming in, but these mics you got to keep right here.
You're getting hit by those tariffs, yeah?
We're getting hit by the tariffs,
All right.
but welcome Bobby Ortiz, aka Dr. Bob on Instagram. Bob is he's our cousin, so he's blood, not related to Cole the white man.
The white bat.
And Bob is your practice is in Dublin, Ireland, correct?
That would be correct, yeah?
And he's blessed us here with his presence.
I was in the country. So.
Wonderful.
What do you think, Cole?
He actually flew in just for the pod.
Just for this, yeah.
He flew in red-eyed from
Super
Ireland
important.
right to the pod.
How long have you lived in Ireland?
Almost 10 years now.
Wow. Do you
Yeah.
have citizenship?
No joke, just applied for it 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
Really?
good.
Congrats.
Is that a hard process there?
Not really.
No?
Nothing like it is here.
Yeah.
Over there, like literally, it was like online. Submitted a bunch of documents. Had to get a lawyer or solicitor just to stamp and say,
Okay.
I am who I am, and
Prove your residency for as long as you've been there and all that.
Like I mean, it can be difficult for different things, but as long as you're living in the country for 5 years, like legally with under certain visas. So like when I went first as a student, and they don't count that towards citizenship. So I could have applied years ago.
I see.
So after 5 years, 4 or 5 years or something like that, and just
Cool.
pay them a bunch of money.
They don't. So you could be a student there for 8. You could be a student. Thank you. You could be a student there for 8 years.
Yeah.
And that's not being counted towards
Nope.
your living there.
No, they because like so many, I have so many
gay.
international students come in there and doing that. Yeah.
Crazy.
Interesting. So you're gonna be dual citizenship then?
Yeah. I hope. I don't know
If it goes
what's
well.
going to happen.
Oh my goodness!
I heard it's good to have dual citizenship in case China takes #1 power.
back on China.
I heard a CIA guy say that. Andrew Bustamante. Have you heard that before?
Sure.
Meaning what? You got somewhere to
Yeah,
run
if
to?
China ever takes
That's why you
power,
got
they're
dual
#1. You're
citizenship.
not going to want to have an American passport when you're traveling the country. You're going to want to have your Ireland passport because then you're not a threat to
Yeah,
#1
traveling.
power.
And then to
But
be
then
honest,
they just look into it and see you're an American.
Well, they're going to look
And then
into it.
they
if
send you
see
to the
America.
death camps.
You will be in the death camp.
You'll be dead.
Yeah, it was actually pretty crazy when Bobby first went to Ireland. I think you came back 2 years later, and we first got the touch of the little accent, and now he's full McGregor mode.
It's insane.
And now he's full Bobby McGregor.
who I hear is making a political run in Ireland, but isn't quite favored by the population at all. Can you confirm
not
this?
even in the slightest. Like,
Is that like the
Really?
that's like the equivalent to Tito Ortiz running for
Yeah,
Beach
yeah.
Beach? Well, Tito
He's
probably
on the
got
board.
Tito, I think, got more
Can't put a
love,
sentence
but-
together, and he's on the board.
So you have heard whispers of that then?
oh yeah, like no, they've been the far right in Ireland have been trying to kind of push him as a possibility to run for, but it's really different because in Ireland it's like a parliamentary system. I've been there 10 years. I'm really into politics in the States, and I still struggle to understand politics in Ireland because there's like 6 different parties, like quite large political parties, whatever.
Really?
But it's a parliamentary system. So just think of like the Senate or the House, right? And then whoever wins the majority gets the Taoiseach or gets the Prime Minister. And that's what really does everything. The president is just a figure holder. Like, they don't do anything.
Interesting.
So he wants to run for president, which, like, he would still be meeting with dignitaries and all this stuff, but he has, like, no actual political power.
Is the president of Ireland like the face of Ireland in a sense?
Yeah, kind of. Like, but
Dana White of the UFC.
It's something more like along the lines, if you look at, like, Great Britain, like the UK, and they have the king and queen, whatever, it'd be something similar to that, where there's the prime minister who's really important and does all the stuff, and then they'll
Boris. Or no, not anymore.
not anymore. Who's the
I can't remember. It's a new person.
Oh, it's what used to be Richie Sunak, and then they got new boring white guy.
Really?
Yeah. But big switch of power there.
Philip.
Crazy.
Something like that.
And so Bob Cole doesn't. I don't know if he's fully caught up to speed on your on what you're doing out in Ireland right now.
I was going to say, what's the marine flora like off the
So-
the cliffs of Mordor?
So
or
a
what-
quick rewind.
What's it? I'm sorry, cliffs of Moher.
You were really close.
Not
though,
Mordor.
yeah.
Then he went Lord of the Ring. Then he went mystical.
Cliffs of Gandalf.
So Bobby was full. Last time you guys saw each other was probably in Hawaii when Bobby was a marine biologist there. You are now an exotic veterinary doctor in Ireland. Or an exotic. You can give me the proper title.
I think you got it.
You also are a savant in the piccolo, correct? Was that your major for music? Let's go.
When you put it like that, I don't know if I fully
going from the
agree.
beginning.
Actually, yeah, let's go beginning of the
Your
timeline.
first degree was music.
Yeah.
Piccolo major.
No.
Tuba.
Yeah.
So Bobby was
Another wind, quite literally the exact opposite of a piccolo.
Cole. Bobby would come home with a tuba case and a piccolo case. Like the man was two different spectrums. It was
Couldn't make up my mind. Couldn't
out of
make up my
control.
mind.
And then you went to Hawaii, became a marine biologist, correct?
Was doing that there, and then day one walked into classes and was sitting next to pre-med, pre-vet people, and I was like, that looks cooler. So I switched from I didn't actually do marine biology, but then switched over to like just sciences. Then I can go to try to apply for vet school. So
And I remember during the time too, vet schools there was like 6 or 7 options of like vet schools. Correct? I feel like there wasn't that many options, which led you to Ireland.
yeah. Oh no, there was Now it's actually crazy. They've opened up. There's been like a huge push in the last 10 years. They've opened up like, I think 4 or 6 more vet schools in the States. But back then there was like 27. And but it was crazy when you're applying for vet school. It takes you like 6 months to put this whole application together, and just the application cost me like $3 or $4 grand.
Damn.
Not like and most people get rejected. So it's like you're paying all this money just to apply. And so I applied, I think, to like 9 schools or something. Like you just go down. It's crazy because you'll see all the schools you can apply to, and as you tick them down, you just see the amount of money you have to pay just keeps going up and up and up, and you're like.
Yeah. So your patients, are they private, because you're exotic, so non-native to Ireland, I would imagine, or some native?
I would do a bit of wildlife, but Ireland's kind of a funny place because there's not. Because it's diversity, because it's an island, and then also people lived on it. I mean, there used to be like Irish wolves and stuff that have been hunted to extinction. So it's not as diverse as you'd think.
Pull up an Irish wolf if we can.
Yeah,
we will edit in an Irish wolf right now.
Right,
edit it
there.
in.
Ran into a couple at the pub when I was there. I'll tell you that.
Come on.
Couple wolves out there, a couple donkeys. And then also too, Bob, we will plug. I want to make sure I get the Insta right too. It is Dr. Bob.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. No underscores or
Gotta
anything.
get that plug.
We gotta
Dr.
get
DR or actual Doctor DOC?
I think it's Dr. underscore.
Dr. underscore Bob.
I don't even know. Yeah.
So yeah, you could actually scope Bobby's Insta too, because there was a minute there where you were getting very active with some of the operations.
Yeah.
Posted clips and videos, which were some of them I couldn't watch.
Well, gross.
A couple hamsters were opened up. Couple snakes.
Is it private collection people's pets, or is it like zoo stuff too, animals in captivity?
Kind of a bit of both. Like there's not really many vets out in Ireland. Ireland is such an agricultural country. Like you look at it, it's green. So there's so many vets out there that are looking at large animals. So they're treating cows and sheep.
Livestock and
exactly.
stuff.
Like it's such a huge, important. I think they export. Talking about China, they export most. I think it's like 40-50% of the baby formula milk is made in Ireland, evaporated into formula, and then sent over to China. Just like Ireland's such a small country, so like they produce so much, right? Like, so there's so many vets go into that. So there's there's maybe 3 of us that actually treat exotic animals. So
you found a good market.
3 of you
in the whole country. Yeah,
it's him and
so you're
Conor
like
McGregor.
the Dr. Oz of exotic. Freaking! Actually, you said you don't like Dr. Oz, so yeah, never mind.
Whoa!
You're we're anti-Oz. We're anti-Caesar Milan. Caesar Milan's a quack.
Nobody likes Caesar Milan.
Is he no good?
Macy's sister has worked in the Humane Society for her whole career.
Yeah.
In veterinary settings, and she'll be my wife's sister. She'll be dispatched to like Vegas, where they found a ring of like 60 pit bulls all emaciated in someone's barn or something, and she'll have to go do like the check on all, not full medical check, but like Humane Society stuff.
Still important. Yeah.
Check on them all that stuff. And she didn't like Milan either. She thinks Milan.
I thought you were gonna say Caesar was behind the pit bull.
No.
That's what I was waiting for. I thought Caesar was gonna be behind the ring.
Milan's a quack.
We're breaking the news
I kind of
now.
liked him. He did a good job, I feel, when I watched it.
Don't watch the show. So it was tugging on Don's heartstrings.
He liked to tout a lot of alpha male stuff. Like, so he would go and say that, like,
you have to be the dominant.
Yeah, he would say all this stuff that wasn't this based off complete junk science.
Well, didn't he raise the way Caesar got so popular? He took 10
Probably
Rottweilers
Oprah.
that all were like killers, and he like turned them into a pack and like
I think
rehabilitated them.
I think the story behind him is it changes all the time. But like I think it was Oprah or Will Smith or something like that he somehow got a gig and
Illuminati.
was like I can train. But like a lot of his.
And then what about the cat equivalent? What's his name? Like Jeffrey Stardust or whatever.
I've seen that guy.
Galaxy, something Galaxy. You know that guy?
Yeah. I've seen a bit of his stuff online.
He's like the cat Caesar guy. His name's something Galaxy.
Are there cats that need to be whispered?
No, he's a white guy. He's a white guy that looks like he's a like weird like Slipknot fan. He's got like piercings all over the place, and he's like a really weird cat guy, but he does the same thing Caesar does, where he has a show. I think it's Johnny Galaxy or something. Let's put in a clip.
We're not giving Johnny Galaxy a plug.
It's totally wrong. It's totally different.
You think we're giving Johnny Stardust a plug?
What was the most stressful surgery you've done, and would that be when you were already an experienced vet, doctor, or was it like when you were like learning doing these surgeries? What was the most stressful?
Probably both. I'd probably say the first. I got a lot of experience working like an SPCA in Dublin, so the DSPCA. So I got a lot of experience there. And it's a huge difference when someone brings you, like, when no one has like an animal, you're doing surgery. Let's say you're just spaying or castrating a dog. When they don't have an owner, like, it's still important. You want to make sure the animal survives and like gets through a surgery really well. But it's totally different if you bring me your dog. And I talk to you and go, oh yeah, it's going to cost this.
And they're in the waiting room.
Yeah, exactly. You're waiting for that. You know that, like, hold on, like, this person is entrusted. Like, it adds a whole nother level of stress onto it. So, like, when I was learning, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's a completely different thing. You're learning a new skill, and you start off on cadavers. You start off on animals that have already passed away, and work your way up, and then you have to start working on animals, and you have to build that up. And then I still remember my first spay when I was a vet. And I got my first job, was the worst place ever, man. It was so bad. And the guy was like, I'm going to mentor you. And then the first day I'm doing a spay, and he's like, see ya. And just left. Peaced out. And I'm sitting there operating on my own with a nurse.
Is that a form of hazing?
Probably, like something like that. But like I only lasted there 6 months. But like, guy was just like, didn't even care. All he cared about was money, and it's crazy.
Jeez.
Wow.
Dog did well, but still a bit stressful.
I would imagine for surgeons and vets and people that have to do stuff like that, wouldn't they give you live animals that they kill after, like goats or pigs, to work on? So it's a living
It's probably
being?
not allowed.
It depends. Like in the States, yeah,
like
there would
lipstick
be.
on beagles.
What's that?
Are you not allowed to say?
No, like we can. Like in Ireland, I've done like wet labs. Like there will be a lot of animals. So like, it's unfortunate. Like maybe not dogs and cats, but like let's say rabbits. So like I do a lot of exotics. So like I've gone to University of Georgia and done this certificate program where we're operating exactly as you said. So we have rabbits though that have been used for different types of studies and things like that, and then they're going to be euthanized. And so they say, well, hold on, like this animal is going to try to give us as much ability to learn from. So the last thing before they are is that they're sedate. I mean, they're completely anesthetized. They're not feeling any pain. And it's, we were able to practice and do something, and that then they're humanely euthanized. So they don't, they're like, even at the very end, they're still able to give and advance some level of medicine. So
See how the nerves twitch if you hit them?
yeah.
Gross.
I don't know, Bobby, if you keep up with Pacific Ocean news, but we just had a big whale death in Huntington
I saw
Beach.
that, yeah.
Humpback.
Yeah. Gray.
Oh, it was a gray?
It was a gray boy. Yeah.
Gray washed up in Huntington. I think the numbers have been going up exponentially, whether it's lack of resource for them or climate change or whatever. But something I found interesting is they just dug a big old hole and rolled it into it on the beach.
Well, I think they
really? Yeah.
They found too because they've tried the explosions before.
The explosion goes terribly wrong.
Those go bad. So I mean, like the removal.
They did. I remember seeing the video. They detonated one, and it was like half-ton chunks of blubber, like crushing people's freaking sedans and stuff.
It's just a very hard. I think the extraction process is.
I want to know who
still trying to
thought that
figure
was
it
going
out.
to be a good idea.
Freaking guy.
Who was like, no, guys,
halfway
I got
through
this.
his beer was like, I got
It's like 1,000 tons or pounds of TNT or something.
Yeah,
Like
and
probably
then the
C4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the gray, they didn't. And
They
then
dug a big old hole and rolled him into it. And what I was thinking is, one, is that going to stink? Two, people are probably going to try and dig it up and look for artifacts. And three, why couldn't
artifacts.
The heart.
the heart?
You're
Yeah.
trying to harvest the heart.
Why couldn't they drag it a couple miles out and let it sink? Because we've seen the time lapses of the millions of worms and crabs and everything that lives off of those carcasses. That would be better for the environment.
Maybe.
But I guess it's too hard to drag it. Too big
Maybe
of a boat.
if
Or
we
something.
create a tourist frenzy, everyone's going to know the whales out there, so it might keep
Are they
people
gonna paddle out like a freaking
Dive.
fallen surfer?
either paddle out,
Thousands of divers.
paddle out, or no one's going to want to go to the beach because there's whale freaking.
No, I'm saying like I'm
carcass.
3 miles offshore. Drag
Yeah.
that sucker out and let him float to the bottom.
Yeah, good point. I also just realized I said hit a bunny. I don't mean hit a bunny. I meant cutting into an animal. You hit nerves. Just want to get that out there really quick.
He's still thinking about
For all of our bunny lovers.
I can't get it out of my head. I just said hit a bunny. Didn't mean punch.
We have a
But
lot
yes, I
of
don't know.
animal
Well,
lovers.
I don't know. Maybe if you
I've
grab
hit a few
it.
bunnies.
If you,
come
I have
clean.
killed a bunny with a baseball when I was 12 years old. Remember that, Joe?
Don did assassinate a bunny
On
at
accident.
age 12.
I mean, I was throwing a baseball near the bunny.
Oh, yes.
You were
Stoned it.
aiming for the bunny.
I mean, I'm 12 and I was good at the fastball, but it was a long feet. It was a while away. It was The bunny was far away. I didn't think it was going to actually hit the bunny.
Hit a seagull one. I think you guys were there at 10th. Hit a seagull with a rock. Still feel bad about it.
Did it die?
You never think you're going to hit it.
You never think you're going to hit it.
You guys are both animal killers, Bobby. We need
You were skipping the thing at the duck and Yosemite.
That was you. We were in Mammoth. Circa
crying,
again.
probably.
Dante has now blocked it from his memory because it's so traumatic. Circa 2005, we're in Mammoth Lakes, California, skipping rocks. Dante connects on a duck straight on the neck, goes feet up. On an old guy looking back now, he's probably like our age now or like 40. He's like, "Don't you move to me, Dante." Tarp off, shoes off, and then wading in the water.
Pretty sure he
Rescues the duck, and then me and Dante get on our mongooses and leave. He's like, "Get back here!"
pretty sure he cracked the duck's neck back in place.
Yeah, he was like trying to work
They
on the
saved
duck's
the
neck.
duck, but I think it's like a $2,000 fine to mess with
My
the
favorite
animals.
part is that he commanded us to stay on the
Some
sand,
random dude.
and the second he got in the water, me and Dante.
What's crazy is
See
that I don't have that crazy little wild energy anymore. Like I was a madman. The stories you were saying
We were
yesterday.
saying last night.
Well, the
yeah.
teams checked your ego, I think.
the community.
So we went up-
Community put you in check.
We
Yeah,
met up
they
with cousin
lowered-
Bobby last
numbed
night,
me out.
and he reminded Dante that he picked up his Star Wars Millennium Falcon, held it over the stairs,
Yeah.
hostage, and he was like, "Huh?" Broke it.
No, it gets even better. It was like Christmas
actual
Eve.
demon child.
And like Grandpa bought it for me, and I was been like hours up working on it. And then like he was just, I could tell he was like in the other room just waiting for me to finish it. And this, I think literally,
I'd flip my eyes like this
Yeah.
and run around.
Oh, show
I was like, you're not doing that again. But then you were so fast that like we'd get so pissed at you, and then no one could catch you. So like you'd go to drop it, and then we'd try to kill you, and you just giggle and run around, and no one could catch you.
Why were you such a menace?
I have no idea. I can't catapult back into that brain and understand why. I really can't.
I don't think you want to.
Unless I'm about to scare someone, like if it's current day and age right now, and I'm like want to scare someone, that energy comes back into me, and I'm like,
He scares Milo so bad. Like Donald will come in on all fours and be like the bear, but then actually move like a bear. And then Milo's like, "Ah!" And it's actual fear. And then Bobby was like, "Yeah, I remember too. I would like climb through a box, and I think I'm claustrophobic because Dante would jump on the box while I was on the box, wreaking
Monkey
havoc."
mode.
I think having Bobby on should start the trend where we have to go one by one and have every cousin in the hot seat.
Fly him out.
We should fly them all out. I mean,
Blaze,
now-
you're next. We got Blaze next.
We got Blaze coming next. Now that we're monetized and we're raking in the money, 25 cents on the last episode, we're gonna
We'll get Damien.
I think we made $1.
we'll get the whole gang. Flying Darian.
Chicho will give us, some weightlifting tips.
Chicho give us weightlifting tips.
Bill, have you ever done an animal circumcision? Is that even?
And you called him Bill.
Oh my gosh, Bob. I'm sorry.
I was like, who are we talking to here, Doc?
So
Bill.
weird. You know what? I did that yesterday. I did call you Bill yesterday.
He's a Dr.
too.
Bill.
My buddy's name is Bill.
That's right.
Shout out,
Can be your
Bill.
buddy too.
Shout out Bill. Let's
He's
get a
cool.
No, we can't get a pickup of Bill.
No pick a Bill.
Have I ever done an animal castration?
This is gonna be
No, he said circumcision.
I
This
know.
is
And
how
I realize
dumb
that's
this
stupid.
guy
That's a
is.
dumb question. Why would they do circumcision for an animal?
You can.
Has it been done?
A circumcised
Yes.
dog would be horrific. Just a freaking little
No,
lipstick
but not-
tube hanging out.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah. I'm trying to justify a medical excuse for that, but
To be cleansed.
to be
to be kosher would be the
Yeah, I was
only
gonna say.
To be kosher.
a Jewish dog.
What's the? What are the most surgeries you do on all animals?
Amputations,
Yeah, a lot of amputations. You do a lot of mass removals because they get a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
like
lumps and bumps.
Yeah,
Ever
yeah, they
since
get a
I
lot
was
of those.
a kid, I've always seen little, if it's not a chocolate lab, white labs walking around with just masses on their belly.
Yeah,
I feel like it's always labs.
yeah, they're
that
really
like?
yeah, and golden retrievers and labs are like
Is that diet?
no, it's
Inbreeding?
genetics. Yeah, we actually think it's genetics just
And
because
then-
they're such a popular dog. We bred them so much, and then yeah,
And then our Rottweiler, when we were a kid, had hip dysplasia, which they're prone to.
yeah.
So she
Yeah.
had surgery when she was like 8 months, Kea.
I actually
Did she? Yeah.
I actually just saw an interesting clip of dog breeds like 100 years ago versus today, and it was
Yeah.
putting up old black and white pictures of a certain dog and then what it looks like now. Some of them look pretty similar, and then some of them you could be like, oh, the one that you showed me from today was just like a fat dog, and that was the same dog, just healthy. Yeah. But some of them are crazy, like that really ugly, weird dog from like the Target commercials. I forget what that breed is.
Bull Terrier.
Oh,
I knew you were. Yeah, like that's.
And they did a picture of it from like 1905, and it's like not that weird looking. It looks like a normal dog, and now it's all mutated looking and weird.
And that's become the breed standard. Like, it's crazy that
people want the weird looking snout and everything.
Pugs, like, even you go back and look at pugs. Pugs used to be a healthy animal.
Really?
Yeah, like, they just used to be like, maybe have a little corkscrew tail, but like they had a normal face, and now
they were taller too, and
because pugs are coming out of the womb struggling, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like their nose.
They have a tortured existence.
Yeah. Like those guys. I mean, for the first
tortured soul.
For the first like 3 months, they're actually probably the cutest animal in the world.
Yes.
And then they hit like 3 months one day, and they're just like
mutants.
And then they're like 10-year-old dog for the rest of their poor life. They're just riddled with problems.
I love puggles too. Puggles. Is it a beagle?
Yeah,
it's a beagle and a pug.
I think they tried to make them a bit healthier, but still.
But what are you? I mean, you haven't been out in Cali for a while, but there has been a big uptick in the golden doodle out here. I don't know if it's the same in Ireland.
Yeah,
What are your
everywhere.
thoughts on the golden doodle? To me, they seem a tad aggressive. Bit hyper.
I think they're pretty poorly behaved, extremely hyper, and not smart.
Yeah.
Is that the general consensus?
But
on
they're
the golden doodle?
hypoallergenic, and people love to tout that like
That's
there's
what
some miracle
people,
dog.
people say that, but like, there's no such thing as a hyper. Like, they just don't produce as much. But people buy them and like think that, oh, I'm so allergic to dogs, I'm gonna get this dog, bring it home, and then realize, oh my god, I'm still allergic.
Yeah.
You know, like, but it's this designer breed. It's like one of the few designer breeds that's made it. And like, but no, as far as I know, no kennel club in the world has actually said that it's a breed. So like, it's like one of the most popular ones out there, but no kennel club will actually say. And it's also, the problem is that you get these crazy. There was one breeder that used to bring their dogs in that there's like Australian golden doodles or something like that brought and like swears by them. But again, they're not. You're just paying for. Just because a name is slapped onto the front, and there's no organization that's overseeing them properly.
Interesting.
Damn golden doodles are running wild.
They're the new.
It's a golden retriever.
What's the little?
poodle?
Mm-hmm.
They're the new Frenchie.
Yeah.
In L.A.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, like all over the world, French bulldogs have taken over as like one of the most popular dogs everywhere. Like
they
breeds.
struggle too.
Those guys are.
French-
I'd say those are like not. Yeah.
Up there with the pugs.
Yeah.
In the struggle bus.
Yeah.
A dog that I've always wanted and I want to own one day is an Irish Wolfhound.
Yeah.
I think they're
big
very
dogs.
cool dogs.
Big
Big old
fuckers.
dogs.
Are they
Yeah.
popular in Ireland,
Oh,
or
yeah.
is it just a name? Yeah.
Yeah. No, they are.
And there's a Scottish Wolfhound as well, right?
Yeah. There's a Scottish Deerhound.
Oh, Deerhound.
Yeah,
Okay.
they, like, now, don't ever, as a veterinarian, ever go into a room and misname one of them. I had one where I was like, oh, cool, my first Irish Wolfhound. The woman was like, this is not an Irish how. This is and I'm like, bro,
right.
it's the, like,
Yeah.
It's a big old fuzzy looking ghost dog.
yeah, I'm sorry, I have to get the right, the Deerhound antibiotics out for the dog.
It's like the dog in Never Ending Story. Just flowing hair, beautiful hair.
dog is Scottish.
Not Irish.
Oh, it looks like an Irish.
Don't you see the bagpipes?
So you have operated on one before.
Yeah. They're freaking huge, man. They're
It's got to be pretty much same protocol as a horse then. When you're dealing with one of those dogs.
practically, yeah.
Biggest dog in the world. Irish Wolfhound. Correct?
Mastiff.
One or two.
I guess it depends on what
Or
you
the
like. It'd be
Kangol.
up there. It'd be like
A
they'd
Dane?
be
What about a
tallest,
Dane,
but like
bro?
yeah, Great Danes, and then
Ever heard of that?
No,
Scooby Doo.
Kangles are way bigger than Great Danes, brother.
What's a Kangol?
A Kangol? Kengal.
Definitely A.
Like Middle Eastern type.
yeah,
Like-
big ones.
Yeah.
There's Anatolian Shepherds. Like those guys are like it depends on what you mean by big. Like Irish
weight,
Bite
height.
size, weight.
Yeah, but like Irish Wolfhounds are
Fight
skinny.
force.
You know, like Anatolian Shepherds would be jacked. They'd like fight bears. Like
Yeah.
that's their whole. Yeah.
Okay.
Two dogs that I've heard are the hardest to own: Dalmatian and Boxer. Truth to
I've heard that.
Really?
I've heard
Yeah.
that.
I like most. I find most Dalmatians are not that nice. Especially
heard
like, as
they're
a
not
vet,
nice,
Like they're not.
yeah.
They're not easy. Like maybe they make good family dogs,
Boxers are
but
like that.
But people think the Disney movie, they think the Firehouse
Yeah, yeah.
thing, and they have this misconception that it's like one of America's pastime dogs, but they're nasty little speckled,
Well, it was damn Walt Disney pushing the Dalmatian love.
among other things.
Bobby's house was covered in Dalmatians.
oh my
Mom
gosh,
was
we had the poodles. We had poodles that were named Pongo and
Pongo and
Perdita.
Purdy.
That's the mom and dad from 101 Dalmatians.
okay.
So we never had Dalmatians, but
The lure caught you.
yeah, it got us.
I remember their menstruation cycles too. That's pretty wild.
Bobby, this is what I do.
As a young child.
No, this is. I do remember.
Why are they wearing pouches?
I do remember coming over one time. I came over. Imagine you're
Menstruation,
I'm a young
animal
boy.
circumcision. You're sick, man.
Imagine you're rocking up to your cousin's house. I open the door and I see their full-grown poodle in a diaper, and my world was flipped upside down.
I'm
Bro,
like,
I
why
don't
is
know
the
where
poodle-
you were. I blocked that out of my head.
You remember that, Joe?
Yeah.
Don, I remember opening the door and seeing Purdy in the diaper.
Yeah.
And like my world was rocked, and then I was like asking questions, but I could tell they didn't want to answer. And they're like, "There's
Smelled
sometimes blood that kind of just blacking out."
Black helicopters.
I think my mom back in the day, like what I remember I was young when we got them, but it was a brother and sister. So Pongo got castrated, but then Perdita, like even the breeder was like, she is such a good, poodle that she was like, you should breed her. Like, and she was even like, I have a male, bring her back to me, whatever. So my mom didn't spay her for like a year or two, and that's why once or twice a year, and then finally she did get her spayed because she's like, no, I'm not gonna. So I think we were talking about having puppies, and then my mom was like, that's crazy, we're not doing that.
Can you inform Cole about your hamster story? You let us know yesterday.
Which one?
Oh yeah, there's two hamster stories.
There was a few.
The grotesque hamster story.
The grotesque, the horror,
Maybe
horrific one is
secondhand from you monkeys.
Well, no, that was our guinea pigs. I mean, we have a lot of
That was our guinea
we had a lot of listeners that are guinea pig fans. So and rodent fans.
They eat
But
them a lot in South America. as
We
well.
did
you
it,
know
yeah.
that?
So we're from Ecuador. Our grandma
yeah.
wanted to cook our guinea pigs when she came over. Second she got her eyes on them, she wanted to eat them. Not cool. But then we
Like
also
a cartoon, she just saw it with an apple in its mouth in the pan, like a Looney Tunes
Sizzling.
cartoon.
yeah. But we also
Turned
did.
into the little turkey with the bones without the feet.
We also didn't know that when you clean the cage, when we put the male and the female together, that they would indeed get it on. And then we also didn't know that you are supposed to take the male and female out of the cage when the babies are born because they will go bonkers. My mom, we came down in the nick of
Little
time
patricide.
and we got him out. Bobby had a couple hamsters and he didn't get to him as quick.
we thought we'd leave them. I always find it's funny because I see, again, doing exotics, and I get a lot of hamsters, whatever. And so it's always funny because I think everyone has like a childhood hamster horrific story. Like, it's just so sad that these little creatures go through the worst things. But it always sticks out.
No respect. They get no respect.
So your hamster, the dad ate the babies.
No, the mom.
Oh, the mom.
We woke. This is young. Like,
thought it was
I think
the
this is
dad that does
before
the
before the poodles. Here we go.
Standard.
Little sis is pulling out in the Tacoma.
Come, wake up. We're going to Disneyland one morning. Wake up, and I jump out of bed.
It was supposed to be a day of magic.
Yeah. Oh no. And it started off as it ended the complete opposite. Wake up, screaming down to my mom, Sarah, the female. Sarah's having baby. Like watching her just popping like 8 babies out, and like, oh my god. So my mom is like, comes up and thinks I'm absolutely like full of it. Like, what are you talking about? She's frozen. Like, what do we do? So then she immediately takes the male, separates them, obviously. And then we go to Disneyland, and the whole day, all I'm doing is thinking about is like, I'm gonna have 20 baby hamsters. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Get home, then I'm like, I'm gonna sell them. I'm gonna breed them. I'm thinking I'm like 4, 5.
rich.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna rich. All my friends are gonna have my baby hamsters. Needless to say, get home, run upstairs, and I mean, I am just still traumatized that I just see Sarah just ripping the babies apart. I mean, it was like
pink little nubs,
they
right?
were. It was like something out of a horror. Like, it would have been a horror movie. Like, and we're sitting there and just completely traumatized. And then my mom, who's like the most squeamish person in the world, has to go in and clean it up. And she's like, "You guys leave the room." Oh, yep. And then 2 weeks later, there was one baby still alive.
Wow, the survivor.
Why does
It's
Sarah do
Nemo
that?
style,
don't
dude.
know.
When the Barracuda comes in, my brother.
Don't know why.
And you would think
Bastards.
It reminds me of all my exes.
I know from my studies, typically in nature, you can look at the father for the one to commit the infanticide. We see this in bear cultures, bear communities, because
Lions.
they attempt to create more competition amongst the other. Well, not create competition, but get the female back into estrus or heat, as we say in the veterinary world, and then
It's good. It's good.
repopulate and spread their seed more because their sole mission is
Dad
survival.
was a hunter.
100%.
Yeah.
But for the mother to go rogue like that, that's traumatic.
She had postpartum depression.
Yeah, a lot. It even happened. We see it in dogs postpartum. Jesus Christ.
It could have been postpartum.
I guess
Some type of
there's
issues.
Postpartum.
Oh, she was hungry.
So the
She was
hamsters.
hungry, yeah.
That's the thing, though, too, is like I
Ham
never.
pressure.
Didn't you guys have one of them jump into a VCR? Commit
That was the
harikari?
toad.
Oh,
That was my toad that
And it turned black.
it jumped into a VCR
Like,
for all the kids watching out
Did you
there.
try to get it
VCR.
out?
Yes.
Bob, so we had to
I did.
unscrew.
Yeah.
We had to unscrew
Joe
the
Senior.
top of the VCR.
Son of a
Hitting
Yeah.
it, my dad.
Dad was trying to
get
hit
it out.
it, trying to get it out,
Squishing it.
So we had to unscrew the top of the VCR. Frog is just sitting there.
It was
chilling.
looking at me.
Yeah, just looking at us at the VCR, scared as all hail. Next day, we're cleaning the cage. I'm holding
Joey's
it.
crying.
It explodes in my hand.
How did it get so hot so quick?
But it got black.
No, Bob,
and
this was
then
the
exploded.
next day. So like,
But like, did you leave it? Were you like hitting eject over and over again to try to get it out?
oh,
or like,
to get it out? No, yeah, we was in there for a while.
Jack,
The
I was
thing
trying
is,
to
you
pull
rewound
it out.
The thing is that
Back to a tadpole?
the frog explosion could have been not related to the VCR. I like to think that he got
think it
some
was.
type of VCR tape
Ate
waves.
some lithium ion in there or something.
But he also, like it could have been the next day we're cleaning the cage. He could have been overheated. Something happened where he bubbled up and started turning black in my hand. And then I remember him just bubbling up, and I was ah,
and then
cried, and then he just exploded like that.
like blood and guts or imploded.
It was an explosion. It was not an in. It wasn't
I-
in. He was bubbling.
in all my knowledge, I don't
He was
think
a
I can help you
jihadi.
there.
You don't know
I
what
think
it
that's
was?
divine intervention there.
I think it was
Radiation poisoning from the VCR.
Yeah.
he was alive when you got
I
him
never
out.
watched another VCR.
I
Spontaneous
was looking
toad
at his
combustion.
eyes trying to get him out.
Yeah, but I mean,
could
when you
see
got
him.
him out, he was
Yeah.
still alive.
He was still alive when we got him out.
Yeah. What was his name?
He was just trying to get
We
away
just
from you
called
guys.
him Toad. And I
Yeah.
opened him. I think I opened him for Christmas at your house. I got the toad for Christmas
A
at your
Christmas
house.
present, and it was a toad.
I don't know if you remember.
I do not
guys
remember that.
I
are
wanted a
jungle
frog
people.
for Christmas, and my mom and dad ended up getting me the toad for Christmas.
You got a toad that year. You got a spear. You got a new loincloth.
Oh, he got a rat.
Dog got a rat.
And it
one
hung
year.
himself. The rat hung itself.
You
No.
guys should
Yes, I
not
think we found it
have
with
small
his
animals.
Its head was through the freaking cage, and it was just like hanging there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think
No.
there's a
Ants
consistent
ate a
thread here
gecko.
of animals that no longer want to be in your.
Ants ate the gecko.
Yeah. We then got a gecko and little tree frogs. Woke up one day, ants just all over him, just completely eyes gone.
so Bob, that's why we need you here.
We need you back
So that-
in the States.
That's why we need you back here, so that our children
What was the
can raise their animals
properly?
in
What was
peace.
the name of your dog that you had that literally every time we'd pull up,
Kona?
we would just
Kona.
see, you see your dad bolting down the road, screaming at the top of his lungs, cursing, and be like, "Bye, Joe," and he just chasing them.
So now that I'm actually an adult and have an idea of what space is and geography, my dad had to go to Mission Viejo Library. That's on La Paz. That's 8 miles away. She was a
All these
Siberian.
animals try to get
she
away
was a
from you.
Siberian Husky, the fastest dog on the planet.
Fastest dog.
She was
Ivy.
out of
What's
control.
The dog? Not Ivy.
Indy.
Oh,
Indy.
Indy.
Indy's in there just trembling, listening to this, wondering for fate.
I've been trying to get away from you.
4 years old, my first dog, Rocky. I open the door at 4 years old, runs out, dies right there in front of the street.
Yellow El Camino still
Yellow
lives on the
Camino
bottom
still
street.
lived over there.
The car's still there.
Still
and my
there.
whole life childhood growing up.
Now-
Now like, that's the car that killed the
Now
dog.
with regeneration and cloning, maybe you can go to the El Camino and Lord willing, there'll be a little bit of Kona's fur still in the
Find the
grill, and
DNA.
you
Oh,
can,
it was Rocky.
Rocky, and you can submit the fur, and we can have a new Rocky.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Check out next.
Rocky was
Follow
half
up on the
wolf.
next pod.
I'm sure you heard about the damn dire wolf.
Yeah,
That's
that they brought
interesting.
back.
They
Yeah,
just brought back a dire wolf.
I listened to the cries.
it's
Yeah, the little puppies. That's pretty wild.
Like it's
Wow.
questionable what they. I was trying to read into it. I was watching a genetic biologist that was talking about it's amazing what they're able to do, but should we actually call it an actual? Like it's not. They were able to use the DNA to create an egg, an embryo,
Yeah.
and then implanted that, but they still had to use the basic DNA of a wolf. Mm-hmm. So that's why they're going like it's amazing what they did. Should we be calling it this ethically? Like, there's all these questions to it, but it's still freaking cool.
Yeah, woolly mammoth for sure. Next 5 years, we'll see a damn woolly, I think.
A woolly would be insane.
We will.
I wouldn't want him here.
I would love to see a
Reintroduce
woolly.
if we reintroduce them to the
Why are
Arctic.
you so anti-woolly, dude?
The Arctic, Don, where they belong.
You're eaten by polar bears?
Not if they freaking squat up.
A woolly would. Did you see the
The
clip
woolly
of
mice?
we had a earthquake here yesterday in Southern California.
yeah.
2 days ago. Was it 2 days now?
5.2 centered in Julian,
5.2.
California.
Did you see the elephants at
Yes,
the San
they
Diego
formed a
Zoo?
trust tree.
Yeah.
Formed
Yeah.
a little circle around the child.
Really?
The earthquake
Yeah.
epicenter was in Julian, which is like in the mountains near San Diego. So San Diego got rocked. Second,
Yeah.
the elephants sensed it. They created a trust tree around the babies. It was pretty beautiful.
Gorgeous to see. Gorgeous animals.
So, being from living in Ireland for so long, we obviously don't have real earthquakes there. And so, wife and child in the car.
Oh, you were here for
I
the
was here for
earthquake.
the earthquake. we're just popping into Costco because we don't have that out there. So,
Welcome to America.
Big ups to Costco there.
Welcome.
Missing it. So
Did you get a roast?
Yeah, they're in the no chicken roast. Yeah, roast chicken. Sorry.
Chicken
That's what I'm
bake.
talking
And
about. Boom! Boom! That gets 3 booms. We'll tell you about the Costco fam after this.
and everyone's phone starts lighting up. Earthquake, or even mine.
That's scary.
And so then I realized, I'm like, wait,
Earthquake.
Emma has never been through an earthquake before. She's sitting in the car, and then I get back to the car, and she's like, "What is?" She's literally nearly shaking, and she's like, "What does this
Are we
mean?
gonna
Is
die?"
there an earthquake coming? What is happening? I've never
like
been
a
through an
once-a-month
earthquake."
thing.
So she never felt it?
No, they said the car was shaking.
Oh, they did feel
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
so they felt a little bit. Yeah,
It was
Woolly
gnarly.
mammoth was near.
yeah.
Have you seen the woolly
sorry,
mice,
sorry.
Joey or Dante, since you're anti-woolly?
Have I seen what?
They in the preliminary stages to reincarnate the mammoth, the great mammoth, they first some needed to test if they could get the fur right or something. And through the DNA they've extracted from artifacts, they grew woolly mammoth hair, or they grew a mice to look like a woolly mammoth.
A meese.
A meese.
Oh.
So they're these like really cute little furry
Meese.
meese. They don't have tusks, but they're cute.
No way.
Vicious.
Wait, you're serious?
I swear. Let's put in a clip of the woolly mice.
Flagging it.
The number of post-op work for this
Demonetized.
That's the flag.
Demonetized immediately. Woolly
Bob,
mice.
this is the tip of the iceberg for the editing that Don's has to do. We have one that's just us time stamping clips to put
Need
it.
my blue light glasses.
Don's been in the editing bay.
So woolly mice is a thing?
You're gonna see.
But Bob, now that you're here in California, what are the great people of Dublin doing? Who is caring for the pets out there that you have the time off? How'd you get the time off?
God, it's starting up again. You can't. These are a lot of leaves.
A lot
I've been here since we started. He's been here for an hour.
This is an hour session
I know.
here.
He just keeps going.
He's half-assing.
Who's taking care of them? Well, I'm lucky to work at a referral hospital, so it's the only proper referral hospital, emergency care, veterinary specialist Ireland plug. Put that there.
What was it called
I don't know if
again?
they want that. They don't want that.
What is it called again?
Veterinary
Bobby
specialist
fired
Ireland.
immediately.
Yeah,
Veterinary
exactly.
Specialist Ireland.
By the time I get back, I get brought in. You were on this podcast.
Yeah, you're fired.
Yeah, we don't want anything to do with
guys
that.
know what they
Manosphere
stand for?
right-wing extremist podcast.
And so even though I head up the exotic service there, so we have interns and emergency vets. But even yesterday, when we were hanging out last night, I was getting called. So I get messages, I get questions, because again, there's not many people. They were asking me about a sick cockatiel, and then there was a rabbit that wasn't eaten, and then what else was there?
And
Had
so when you
contact.
do get farm
Did
animals,
they try giving him a carrot?
boom. When you do
Two
get
booms.
when you do get
in the street now.
boom, boom. When you do get calls about a bigger farm animal like
Yeah.
a donkey or something, you're then getting in the car cruising out to the farm.
No. See, donkey, that'd be more equine. So that'd be horse vets. I don't mess with that. Now,
subgroup.
But you did for a little bit, or you did dabble, or
now
no?
an emu,
That would be exotic.
You mess with an
Nasty,
emu.
nasty little birds.
You've had to work on an emu?
a baby emu too. Yeah.
Dinosaurs.
Those things are as close to a velociraptor.
Plug.
Plug it! Emu! Don on Google with emus.
Emus are scary.
Emus
They
are very
so
scary.
scary.
Yeah.
So it wasn't
Cassawaries are the really scary ones.
Those have the little blade.
Those are like the most considered one of the most deadliest bird. Yeah, in the world.
Saw one at the zoo recently.
I wonder how many people are killed by ostrich a year, if any.
Ostrich?
I think there's a couple numbers on that.
They dig their head in the hole, right?
That might be fairy tale lore, but maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll kick you.
But people do ride them.
Well,
There's
round-
ostrich
Ostrich
races
races?
and
Round of
ostrich chariot races.
This is actually a thing I quote all the time. I've been quoting it for about 10 years, 15 possibly. When people ask me what the deadliest animal in the world is, I 100% with all confidence say a horse.
No, I know the answer.
Because
Don't
horses
say
know
hippo.
Bobby knows it.
People always say hippo.
and horses their heads.
Well,
and
mine
stuff will kill
might
people. 'cause,
not
you know.
be an animal,
Is that
but
a
I
thing?
A horse.
A horse. Is that true?
I think mosquito, but
Not
that's
that you would
insect.
know that, but
No, I mean horses. Like, I'm not. I never was around horses. So like in veterinary, you have to be around them and like you have to be proficient. And I was like, I'm going to do whatever the bare minimum I have to. But I'd be scared around them.
I'm
but
so scared
more
around
people get
horses.
killed by in that area. More people get killed by cows than horses.
cows.
Yeah,
Really?
by far.
How do they
the
get
number
killed
of
by the
farmers
cow?
Trampled
Milking?
Trampled?
No, but just like just
in
get
the
kicked
pen,
and
trying
trampled.
to round them up and fall
Yeah.
down. An old geezer
Yeah.
takes a geezer tumble and
Yeah.
gets stuck in the mud. And
Geezer
Yeah.
tumble. You don't have to paint the picture for us, brother.
Yeah,
hippos kill.
hippo.
I have always
People
heard.
aren't around
I've always
hippos.
heard like hippos kill the most people in Africa. You watch those big old dumbasses.
You ever seen them chase the boats?
I've seen them chase the boats.
Yeah.
Joey, they're so freaking crazy. What are you
Their
about to say
teeth
about
are
hippos?
circles.
Four big
Joe,
teeth.
no,
Big
man.
circle
Joe.
Push your head.
No, he's
they just munch.
you're not watching the right videos, brother.
Maybe I'm not on the right hippo
They have
algorithm.
fangs that are this big.
Yeah.
2 of them.
I saw a video the other day of a guy jumping in the river with the hippos and swimming and stuff.
Joe, terrifying.
Probably on
Just wait.
hippo was on ketamine or something.
It darted.
Yeah.
And then he's in.
Sorry about my hippo misinformation, but I think they're nice.
Take that off the
I think
pod.
crocs drag a lot of people away down there fetching water or taking a shite, and the family never sees them again.
Well, crocs. If crocs do catch a human, they will eat it, right?
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
not like
Drown
sharks,
it.
where they'll spit you out. Crocs will.
Yeah.
They'll
kinda
put
do
you in the belly.
They'll
for
do
sure.
the dang thing.
They'll do what they can to.
Drown you, rip a couple limbs off.
Yeah.
Bob, in terms of Operation 2, not had stressful, but what do you think is the trickiest animal to operate on? My guess is a snake would be difficult,
Yeah.
just for the sheer lack of
Everything's in one place. It's just a bag of guts.
It's not
muscle.
wrong.
All right.
He's not wrong. Snakes would be.
trickiest animal you've had to work on.
Not a lot of bones. Well, a lot of bones, but one main bone.
Yeah, they're nice because you just flip them on their back and then you just have access to their belly. But that is a problem. Like if you have to, I've had to do a couple salpingotomies. So it's they don't have a proper uterus. They have a salpinx, you'd call it. And so let's say they're egg bound. So most snakes produce eggs. So let's say they get obstructed or an egg blows up inside of it and it's got 20 eggs left behind and you've got to get them out to save it. So the problem can be is that if you make one incision, but let's say it's a huge 10-foot snake, you might have to operate with like 3 vets working at the same time on the same snake so you can get all of the eggs out really quickly.
Damn. Some assembly line of vets on
Yeah. So
on a Burmese.
that can be tricky, but usually it's easy. But the hardest ones would be really large tortoises. Because their shells protect them, so you can't how do you surgically get into them? So you really only have 2 options. So
angle grinder.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah. No, you have to do a plastrinotomy. So you have to remove their belly, so the shell. You have to lift that off, or you have to do what's called a prefemoral approach. So you have to go through their hip joint, where their leg sticks out.
how the
and you
sharks
can kinda
get 'em.
into there. Yeah, using scope. This guy knows. He knows. He's in.
You've been doing low-key vet school?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Well, that's how the sharks get the turtles. They get them by the legs first.
Yeah.
Seen that.
No way.
Sea turtles. Yeah.
So turtle would be up
Turtles
there for
would
sure.
be hard.
And then, but what preps you for that? Because I mean, like you said, practicing, it's like, okay, you get to work on a bunny, maybe. So it's just, that is just in the moment, you got your first turtle and you gotta, obviously you have the research you've done, but then when it comes down to just doing the operation.
Yeah, kind of both. There's a lot of vets that wouldn't do surgery at all. So there's vets that just do medicine, ultrasound. They don't like in surgery. So there is a huge amount of skills that you gain by being in the surgical theater. So it's whether it's a rabbit, whether it's a monkey, whether it's a dog, a bone is a bone kind of. So many orthopedic surgeons would be like, I can fix that. It doesn't matter what animal it is.
Sure.
They can go in and fix it. But so there's a huge amount of underlying skills that you need to have before you go in. The anatomy is totally different, but Yeah, like it's not easy. Then it happens. I think it happens to me often, like where, okay, I do loads of surgeries on rabbits all the time, but there may be something new that I have to do, and go, okay, I have to do something a little bit different here. So it's both. You try to do as much research, you watch videos, contact colleagues or other people to go in prepared, but sometimes
Turtle probably, I could imagine, being very, very tricky. Turtle, tortoise.
Yeah.
Did you know that there's a tortoise that's still alive that was brought to wherever he's living by Darwin from the Galapagos? Because he's like 160 or something. Yeah, so it was Darwin's pet, Charles Darwin, that's still kicking it.
Really? 150 or something like that. They were saying, yeah.
You ever seen the Japanese?
That's a dinosaur.
You ever seen the Japanese guy that has the giant tortoise pet, and he like walks him around his Japanese village? He's like a celebrity.
Yeah.
And they just classic Japanese walk with his hands behind his back, little shuffle around the town every day, and the tortoise and him just walk around. Everyone says hi.
Is it a big one?
Big dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to move, he's not moving. Like,
which animals do you think that people own typically tend to outlast their owners that you see?
Birds.
Birds, or
I see quite a few, and it's sad because you get a lot of these people that like these birds that are living that long. These people obviously love them. They're doing everything to take care of them. So like African greys that are living to 50, 60, macaws that are living, and they get put into wills. And it's really sad because either if someone...
Nobody wants them.
Yeah. It goes to the daughter and like you're the son, and they're like, I don't know what to do with a bird. And then those guys, I mean, they're so attached to the deceased person, they just go downhill. Like most of them, I really don't see them live that long. Yeah.
What's the most rewarding thing about being a vet? Is it watching an animal survive? Is it making them feel better? Is it the money?
I wish I could say the latter.
The most rewarding thing.
Most rewarding is
the women,
the parties,
the parties,
yeah.
the groupies.
yeah.
all the vet parties. Yeah.
Meth.
I know it would be. I think most people come in and they're like confused about their animal, and they think that they don't know why they're in pain, or just be helping them understand what's actually going on. Because you get people that love their pets so much, and go, oh, they're sick, something's going on, and the fact that you're able to either, even if it ends in you having to, humanely euthanize them and help them say goodbye, like still getting the owners to understand what's going on, the reason why it's going on, and why their dog is sick, or why their rabbit's not eating, or their bird is ripping all its feathers out. And
solving problems.
Yeah.
For people.
Have you ever performed a brain surgery on an animal? Is that a necessary thing in the...
Rare. Yeah. Ethically, like, there's a lot of stuff that, like, even like chemotherapy, like you and I can have a chat and I can say, look, you're going to put your body through this. So a lot in veterinary comes down to ethics of like, we're going to put animals through really, really crazy surgeries for like poor outcomes.
Just go to the freaking great pig pen in the sky.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes that's when they don't have the choice, yeah.
All dogs go to heaven.
Great
Pig pen.
Well, guys, it's been an hour. Do you have to go, Joe?
Pretty soon here. Got to pick up Milo from preschool.
Okay. I was like really worried that you guys all had exactly an hour, which is noon. So
I mean, Bobby probably has a call with Ireland.
I could sit here all day. This is a wealth of information.
I've got the overnight crew there. Yeah.
Well, actually, too, Bobby, I do want to hear about the one story too where I think it was early in your career, maybe, where you had the celeb. There was some Irish celeb where Bob took care of her, like Pomeranian or something. She was firing out Dr. Bob on the gram. Dr. Bob saved my. What
Sinead
celeb was
O'Connor?
that? She was she was like a TV host or something.
Yeah, she did a bit of that. I think
Ozzy
she's Suzanne Jackson. So she has a huge, huge makeup company, and there's like in Ireland and in the UK, Fake Tan.
There weren't a lot of makeup out there. I've seen some of them women.
Yeah, she's doing very well. she's doing very well.
Like them big old women down in San Antonio.
That's why when Bobby rolled into Ireland, they had never seen a man like that before.
They love tan
year-round
people,
tan. Year-round
They
tan.
love the fake tan. It's a dark country.
love the tans.
They're a Western country. You could see them wanting to look like
Yeah.
the women in Ibiza.
And then you imagine this Puerto Rican unit walking into a pub. Emma, I know you're watching, but I know she was looking and liking. Okay, so she owns a makeup company.
Yeah, so she owns a makeup company, and I didn't know. Well, clearly, I wouldn't know anything about her. And I remember I walked in to work walked into work. How I met them initially was I walked into work, and everyone behind, all the women and the nurses and everyone else that were there were like, "Oh my God, Bobby, you're gonna go into this. You do a euthanasia, an emergency euthanasia on a dog." And it was her entire family, and they're like, "It's Suzanne Jackson. You've got to go in. You're gonna go." So I was like, "I don't know who that is." Like, whatever. So I go in, do my thing, and afterwards, like the next day, I start getting dinged and pinged all over Instagram because she went and shared that I was, whatever. She was really happy with what we did, and so after that, all of her dogs came to me. Were only seeing me, and then of course, one of her dogs had a vaccine reaction. Not to get, it was incredibly.
We're all vaccine injured. So
yeah.
Currently
Not to get, but like
injured.
actually, it was an incredibly rare reaction, and literally the whole time I was like, if this dog does not survive, I am done. I was like, she takes one
All the love, Bob.
Deport it
One
back here.
post, and like, thank God the dog did well, but yeah, crazy.
Hey, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Bob,
is
that
garbage.
that is insane. I can't imagine the nerves going into a surgery with someone's dang Pomeranian on the line.
Do you have a calling to complete your heritage, veterinary, perhaps God-given mission, and maybe travel back to Puerto Rico one day and operate on some of the many iguanas, or that'd be a whole different field. I know there's a lot of
Bob,
iguanas.
no ties to Puerto Rico.
No, it's not like you're born from there, but it's where
Once for a wedding.
I think we all
We
were
went there
yeah.
once for a wedding.
Yeah.
And got trashed.
Went to the Bacardi Center.
What are we-
Maybe not Puerto Rico, but definitely California. Definitely coming back here would be something very much like to come back, and it's because it is very
We
different.
need
Like,
you.
every country's
We do
different,
need
but
you.
it's
We need you. The whales. We just
Yeah,
lost freaking
yeah.
P90X. The
Tony?
huh?
Tony? P90X?
No, the damn P99 or
the cougar.
The cougar. We just
The
lost
mountain
her.
lion, yeah.
Local celeb.
PX14 or whatever. Dante thought you meant the owner of
I was
P90X.
like P90X. I was like, oh man, he was
Tony.
always he was in good shape,
It
man.
breaks down. Tony's gone.
Tony's gone.
I
Dante clips it, me reacting to the loss of
He
P90X.
honestly is your
founder.
true first mentor and idol, I would say.
Dante bought my mom the DVD box set for Christmas, and she lost a solid 22.
30.
30.
Shout out, Tony.
Helped her.
Shout out Tony. Shout out Mom. He is alive. Mountain lion is dead. Wow. Yeah, Bob. We can honestly, we could talk your ear off all day. We really could. Any more questions for cousin?
We got it, Bob. We're good. I think you got to go, Joe, but we'll be talking Friday at the bar.
It's your birthday Friday.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
All right, let's bring it in. Thanks for joining us, Bob.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bob.
Appreciate it.
Dr. Bob, Dr._Bob.
They're turning the pods gay.
Peace out. Hi, Lila.